we online?
Maybe.
My phone says we are.
Are we recording?
Hey.
Yes.
Hey, everybody.
Hello to the internet.
Let's make sure we have audio. It looks like we have
What's
audio,
up, bros
but we'll need a
and broettes?
Bill will tell us soon
yeah.
whether or not we are broadcasting audio.
I like audio.
Audio's all right.
Sure. Man.
Yeah. Hello, everyone.
Hello. Hello, everyone. I'm Chuck.
Hi guys.
Hey, peoples.
Hello, Julie.
Hi Julie.
Julie hears us.
Hi.
Well, it's just a thumbs up. I mean, I hope that's a thumbs
Hi.
up for we can be heard.
Thumbs up for audio.
Okay.
I'm a big fan of audio.
It's good for an audio podcast to have audio.
Eh.
Helps.
Eh.
Helps the process.
Hi.
Yep. So
Yeah.
I don't understand. It's like ours stick normal exposure, and their two they always blow out like that. And I said it, it just changes. I don't know.
You know, I'm going to look awful regardless, so don't worry about it.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Audio
Select
good.
button. Yeah, I mean, it's
I'm glad I look terrible.
Well, you're just extra white over there.
Well, it's in honor of White Tiger.
White Tiger.
Right.
Yes, Gary Daniels,
Is.
also known as
White tiger.
White Tiger, which he is
Whiter.
never called during the movie.
Never said once.
Nope.
in fact, no one has ever said white tiger on film before. Or since.
Well.
No.
Yeah, no, it's true. Look
It's
it up.
true.
Well.
Look it up.
Rumble
you-
in the Bronx.
Didn't happen. That's it's a
That was a dub.
Oh.
Yeah.
a
But it still
Nelson
was
Mancala
said.
If
effect.
it wasn't in the subs, then it
Yep.
didn't happen.
But, okay.
Do some research.
Yeah. Look it up.
Look it up.
Okay.
It's true.
There's also like 3 other movies named White Tiger. And
Yeah, they don't say
they
it
don't
in those
say it
movies
either.
either.
It's weird.
I bet
Yeah.
they do.
Chuck, stop.
We're all waiting for that chance to snap our fingers and point at the screen, and it never happened.
It's this weird unsaid rule in Hollywood that
Yeah.
you can't say it on film. It's
Oh,
just-
is that like the Hollywood version of Macbeth, Lady
Yeah.
Macbeth? Like you just don't say White Tiger?
Don't say it.
What?
What do they say instead? Like, no, they don't have a
I don't know.
No, they can't even reference it. They just have to go, you know.
That thing we can't
The
say.
thing.
You know the title of the movie? Yeah, we can't say that.
You can only write it down.
Yeah. Put it on a poster.
Okay.
What's the Lady Macbeth
weird.
thing?
You don't say Macbeth at all, but especially don't talk about Lady Macbeth in a theater,
Oh, really?
like anywhere backstage.
It's like the whole luck thing.
Kind of, yeah. I mean, if you are putting on Macbeth, which obviously happens a lot in the theater, then you call it the Scottish play.
Interesting.
Is the word Macbeth said anywhere in the play?
I think on stage is okay. It's
Okay,
it's
on stage is okay.
It's like
Alright.
you
Oh.
don't talk about it behind the curtains and stuff. Yeah.
Suspicious or superstitious lot, those.
Yeah, well, yeah, there's something to do
Hi,
with
Bill.
like a lot of like actresses over the years that played Lady Macbeth like had mental problems and shit. So it's like, I don't know. Of course, it's just legend. It's like the break a leg thing.
Right.
Hmm.
I like to say,
Of course-
horrifically injure yourself.
Yeah. Of course, I was just the guy like backstage, like, "Hey, Macbeth, to you." Hey, good luck, Macbeth.
That's what I want to do. I want to put on a play called Good Luck Macbeth.
It's really just the
It'll
best.
be meta as shit, and everybody that works on it will die.
And we can also combine it with my upstage principle, and we'll have all the action happen in the background. I totally told you about this. Oh no,
I don't
you
think
might
so.
not have been here that week, but yeah.
Please,
I
go
have
on.
this idea for a stage play that's called Upstage, and it's like the actual real play is happening in the background while 2 people are in the front just acting out the most boring shit. It's basically like a theatrical version of Rosencrantz and Guildenstern. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so good luck Macbeth.
Yeah. Well, we don't have to put Upstage in the title. We could just call it
Yeah.
Good Luck Macbeth.
Yeah.
But the real, like, they're out there performing Macbeth, and everyone's like, "That's fucking boring. I know that story." And then, but the real stuff is like
happening in the background.
Yeah.
But they're not actually saying
Ooh, you
anything.
can actually just have it look like an open stage that you just see to the backstage. You know, just like make the set part of take the curtain up and just show the backstage and make that part of the actual stage. Yeah.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
But all the action is actually going on backstage.
Oh, yeah.
And you don't hear them performing Macbeth.
I mean,
it's just like a
pantomime, like real
Yeah,
low,
just
real
pantomime,
low
yeah.
talking. I think maybe
Yeah.
like every once in a while, maybe like when the dialogue is down there, you bring the upstage people.
Yeah, I like
or
that.
The
Let's
downstage
write it.
people up in audio, like they do a couple lines and then fade back down. Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
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 It's great. It's gonna break a leg.
Yeah. It's
It's gonna break so many legs.
It's gonna be seen around the globe.
And scene. Podcast.
Chuck got that one.
Yeah, I got it. Thanks.
You're welcome. What you drinking?
Yeah, you got some Bladoo?
No, that's Hawaiian Punch.
Oh, hell yeah, man. Fucking balling over here with Hawaiian Punch. You didn't offer me any Hawaiian
Where'd
Punch.
you did,
Where'd you
was
get
it,
Hawaiian Punch?
Was it in a metal can where you had to pop the
I
corner
wish
two
it was.
sides?
Man, that was the best.
Yeah. Just fucking cut holes in the top of a metal can. Pour out some juice.
No, it's a normal jug now, made of plastic.
Boo.
Yeah.
Boy, they went and they ruined Hawaiian Punch.
This is not from concentrate.
The SJWs have ruined
I don't think Hawaiian Punch they had a concentrate version.
I don't think there
It
was
was-
ever any juice in Hawaii.
I think it was always a concentrate.
Right, I was going to say, it's, what are you going to do? Add water to sugar?
Yeah, Hawaiian Punch
Yes.
was
Yeah.
potent shit.
Put sugar in water.
Yeah, sugar in water and get red dye number 5.
Yes. Hawaiian Punch.
Do y'all remember Juicy Juice used to
Jesus,
come
yeah.
in the
Juicier
fucking
Juice.
cans
Libby's.
too?
Look at that. Oh, sorry, just for a second there, Becky's camera was like literally like a fucking like a J.J. Abrams shot.
Oh.
It's like it was fucking insane. Like
You
I
have
mean,
a lens flare?
yeah,
Yeah, flare it up.
He was just a big fucking white spot in the center. We gotta get new cameras. These things.
Yeah,
Suck.
we gotta
Okay.
talk about how you entered the room.
Yeah, I mean, no, I just looked down. I was like, Jesus.
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah, yes,
Jesus.
just one big. fucking
Actually,
lens
it was
flare.
you were just seeing it because of all the sugar you just
That's
consumed in
probably
that sip of
yeah. That's
Hawaiian
true. I just-
Punch. Holy fuck!
Yeah, I was like, how about a nice Hawaiian Punch? Sure.
So Juicy Juice used to be a big wick item in the grocery stores.
Yeah.
Because it has some juice in it.
I
'Cause
guess,
it
yeah, probably
contains-
because it's got like 4% juice.
Oh,
Yeah.
it contains 10% real juice.
Ooh.
Or so
But
it
yeah.
says.
Juicy juice.
You always knew it was when somebody started loading up 40 cans of Juicy Juice. It was they were also going to bring out the wick like checks or whatever that would take. I'm not mad at people getting like assistance. I was just mad at the fact that it would take 45 minutes for them to run those fucking check things through the checky thing.
Oh, yeah. And then they had cards, and it mostly was better, except for 9 times out of 10 you go somewhere and it's like, that is down.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, EBT's down. Snap's down. Assholes.
Word.
Chuck has not gotten a new chair yet.
Nope.
It's falling apart at a rapid
We've been
pace.
saving that Patreon
No,
money.
mine's the one that's falling apart. Yours is in the exact same shit condition it always was.
It can't get any worse.
That's
It
true.
does smell
No,
more and
that's
more
not-
like Chuck every day, though. So.
Yeah, so it is pretty much
Why are you
correct.
smelling Chuck's chair?
How can you not?
Stay out of my business.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess I'm furthest away from Chuck. So
Yeah,
I
it
don't-
doesn't waft over
yeah.
that way.
It doesn't permeate my.
is-
Well, see,
my
the fan goes
vicinity
that
over
way.
here.
It's
pushing
it's
it.
just carrying.
It's just this
carrying,
big circular.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're basically
Goes
getting
up
distilled Chuck.
Yeah.
Over here.
Yeah. Right to BJ.
Yeah. Pure uncut Chuck.
Yeah.
Do you have any idea the street value of this chair?
I don't know. You should cut me with some juicy juice.
All right, let's cut a podcast.
Yeah, let's light this.
Yeah,
let's
let's-
light
let's-
this wick.
Cut it.
It's still vibrating. You son of a bitch dinosaur.
Love it.
False start.
Alright, that's still gonna fall out. I'm just gonna put this over here. So if it vibrates, it'll make a really loud noise on the metal. Alright, welcome to the BMFcast.
Hey, BMFcast.
Hey.
Hell yeah. Episode 508.
Ooh, Nintendo.
Oh, I was supposed to go back to 508.
It's fine. That's
sounds better.
too many numbers, no matter what you say.
Yeah.
508.
Right.
Season 5, episode 8.
Yeah.
Or season 2,
No,
episode 8.
5.
5.
That's number wang.
Your production codes
three,
have
sir.
thrown me off completely.
Right.
Anyway, I'm Harlow.
I'm Mackie.
I'm BJ.
I'm Chuck.
Yeah, and what we do each and every episode of this here BMFcast is we go and we watch ourselves a quote-unquote bad movie. Then we come here and talk about it. Then they get ratings. Good bad movies, enjoyable bad movies. They get 1 to 5 jocks and Robot Jocks.
Robot
Jocks!
Yay.
I don't know when Robot Jocks turned musical, but it did.
We just
500
started
episodes.
Yeah, I know.
doing it, yeah.
Somebody requested Robot Jocks the musical
Yes.
long ago.
We'll be all right with that.
There are bad movies, however. As a stay away, they get a
Correct.
negative sliding scale, 1 to 5 bags and giant bags of trash.
Boo.
In which
Not
they belong.
musical garbage.
No. Although some
Not even
musicals
good
belong
bags
in the
either.
trash.
Just like,
Just
just the
just
cheap
junk.
ones.
Yeah.
Not even hefty or glad.
Nope.
No.
We're not glad about these movies when they get bags.
Great value trash bags.
Tonight we're just naming trash
Yeah.
bags. What's your favorite
your
trash
brand?
bag? You like a drawstring?
Some people,
I
some people
don't
go
know.
for the hefty bag, but I go for the weak bag.
I'm a simple human over here, and I like certain kinds of trash bags.
All this foof-a-ron about hefty, hefty, happy. I like them just wimpy, wimpy, wimpy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm Harry Carey for trash bags.
So that's White Tiger. which is
Yeah.
the movie we watched.
Oh.
What was
Yeah,
the movie
White
we
Tiger.
watched?
White Tiger.
Oh.
Oh, Todd Browning. Oh, wait. Wrong white
No.
tiger.
This one's from 1996.
No, this is Gary Daniels. Here's the first one. There's your first wicked
That sounded
bad
like
accent.
baby talk. Gowie Dagwells.
Yeah, we Dangwells.
Isn't that how Australians sound?
Fucking Janice from Friends is here.
Oh my God, it's Gary Daniels.
Gary Daniels.
It's pronounced Geary.
Gary Daniels.
Geary Daniels.
Daniels. Sorry, first minute.
Chuck might die. We might kill Chuck right here.
No, we're doing extents.
I'm so sorry, Australian crew.
I'm not.
They brought it on themselves.
They didn't.
They did nothing wrong.
Otherwise, they wouldn't sound like that.
If they try to come here to kick our ass, the anti-gravity boots that keep them stuck to the bottom of the earth
Right.
will fling them off into space.
That's true. Yeah.
That's,
yeah.
yeah.
Cats always land butter side down.
Correct.
What? No.
But yes, Gary Daniels.
Daniels.
We're back to Gary Daniels land.
Right.
Yes.
He was in Fist of the North Star and Rage, which, if you're going to watch a Gary Daniels movie, go watch fucking Rage.
I was gonna
dude.
say, did we inadvertently start at the best Gary Daniels
I
movie,
think we
and we're
did.
just
Kinda
chasing
did.
the dragon?
Well,
'Cause-
we had inadvertently seen a couple of Gary Daniels movies, not really knowing who he
Yeah,
was,
kinda.
and then we watched Rage, and it was like, oh shit,
yeah, this guy.
this guy is awesome, and then everything else has been like, he's okay, but
Yeah, this will be his 10th BMFcast appearance, I believe.
This
Yeah.
isn't Rage. I mean, Rage is so good. I still remember the episode title, "Glass Dismissed,"
yes,
because there was so much glass being broken. in that
God,
one.
yes.
Like,
yes.
I mean, actually, probably it was a lot until we watched Maniac Cop 2. That might have topped
Maniac Cop 2 was
Yeah.
more of a glass destruction than Rage.
But
Yeah.
anyway.
And then wasn't it you and I watched Police Story like the same week?
it. Yeah, probably.
And we were just like,
so much glass.
okay, yeah, like
Yeah.
this is the pinnacle of glass.
Yeah. Yeah.
This White Tiger is not.
No.
It also has Kari Hiroyuki Tagawa,
Yep.
who you will know as Shang Tsung from Mortal Kombat. He's been in 7 other movies of ours, but
Yeah.
he's Shang Tsung from Mortal Kombat.
Yes. Whenever you see him, you're like, oh, yeah, hey.
Yeah, I mean, so
Yeah.
much so that they brought him back for that Mortal Kombat 11 DLC.
They did, yeah.
I didn't realize that.
Oh yeah, they brought him back and did mocap and voice
Oh,
stuff
nice.
with him. So it's just like,
Nice.
yeah, here's.
Yeah.
I think it's like they're basically trying to do a multiverse thing like everyone else. It's just
Sure.
so it's like here's movie.
Yeah,
Shang
they brought-
Tsung.
Sure,
Yeah.
why not?
They brought in Lambert and a bunch of people.
Yeah. Matt Craven from Meatballs and Disturbia. I would assume those are extra movies.
Yes, they are.
Okay. Lisa Langlois from Class of 1984. I knew that one would get Chuck. Love it. And Julia Nixon from Double Dragon and Amityville: A New Generation. Also a Bamcast Extra movie. People really like that whole Amityville series you guys did a while back.
Yeah.
Director is Richard Martin, who will be, should I spoil it?
yes, go ahead.
He will be a future BMF alum for Airbud 2 Golden Receiver coming this August.
Yeah, that's happening. Just
Wait,
deal
hold
with
on a second. So this isn't directed by Robert Vince? Did I miss the?
No, no,
He
no.
is a producer.
Yes.
So yeah, that would be the other one. Robert Vince.
Robert
He,
Vance
of
never directed
all-
anything until the dog movies came
See,
out.
that's what I was asking.
He was
Okay.
he was a producer for the longest time and did a bunch of these things.
That's what I was trying
Yeah.
to figure out. I was trying to figure out how you go from like directing this like straight to talking dog movies, and
Yeah.
I was just.
no. He.
I mean, it's still a leap.
I think it was just like I'm gonna direct whatever the first one that he did, Air Buddies maybe, and then he was just like, hey, I could do this.
Man, yeah, he got the bug.
The buddy.
His
bug.
love of film began.
Yes. The cinematic journey.
Yeah,
He was like, I don't want to make decisions anymore. I just want to direct these dogs.
but yes, he was a producer on this one.
Yeah.
And a BMFcast alum, a decorated alum.
Oh, sure, yeah. I think we established that we've seen more Robert Vance movies than anybody else.
I will always be one short.
Yes, there's one we will never watch.
No, I will always be one short because I didn't see Space Buddies.
Well, that's right. You weren't here
you
for
missed Spuddies.
Oh,
Spudnik.
yeah, Spudnik.
Yeah, where's Spudnik?
Yeah, he's around.
In the
Okay.
box somewhere.
Were you
he's
here
safe.
for Russell Madness?
I was.
Yeah, he was here for Russell
Yeah, because I
Madness.
had
That should have been WrestleMania.
that had
but-
Johnny Mundo in it.
It did. It had Johnny Mundo. You know what I found out about Russell Madness?
What's that?
Amazon cut it up into a TV show.
What?
There's like 12-minute episodes of Russell Madness.
What?
It's
How?
real stupid.
Was this like a Quibi thing?
I don't know. It was. I was looking at Robert Vince's filmography and saw this. It's not called Russell Madness. It's called WrestleMania or
Oh, so they finally got the name they were supposed to have in the fucking first
WrestleManiac
place.
or something.
Oh, for
they fucked it up
Christ's sake.
again.
For God's sake.
And I was like, was there a sequel to this? And I didn't know it. And then I went and looked it up and was like, oh no, they cut the movie.
Chuck, I genuinely appreciate that was your reaction.
Yeah.
To be, oh my God, wait, there's another one?
I was very excited. I was like,
You
we
were
have to do
all
this next
over it.
week. And then I was sad to find out
Yeah.
it was just a television show. But yeah, Robert Vince.
Yeah. So yeah, that's White Tiger.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some punching and kicking in this movie.
Sporadically.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so-
I mean,
I hate to say it, but like this is one of those movies. I just right away you're like, okay, what more popular movie is this a weak adaptation of? And this one is like, being that it's what 95 that it came
96.
96. I was like, this is almost like someone was like, hey, what if we made Black Rain, but also a little bit of Rising Sun in a way?
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
because it's like, I mean, it's just that general template of like, white dude knows more about Asian culture than he should and is able to sort of, but it's not, he never really like does much to, I don't know. It's a weird thing. It's like he speaks.
he's a bad investigator.
Here's the thing. So
One of the worst.
we talked about it on the pre-show a little bit. This movie was filmed in Hong Kong, called Tiger something.
Tiger Blanco.
The production ran out of money.
Tiger Storm.
Tiger Storm. That's
Oh.
it. So the production company ran out of money. This other production company stepped in, bought it, then decided all that footage is shit, and just all they did was keep Gary Daniels, and then I assume refilmed the entire script again, but this time in Vancouver instead of Hong Kong. So it already had like 2 strikes against it going in, which was like, this movie sucked. They couldn't even finish it. Let's do it again in Vancouver.
And they probably don't have the stunt crew that they had in the other one.
No, and I mean, there's some good stuff in this as
there's
far
some
as like the
excellent
stunting.
stunt. There's one stunt. There's one stunt in particular that is just beautiful in execution, and then there's a couple other like, hey, that was good.
Yeah.
Like,
But like the main problems with this overall is that so Gary Daniels knows Asian culture except when he doesn't,
right. Yeah.
and usually that means in the worst possible situation he doesn't know shit about it.
Does he know Asian culture?
He knows how to speak the language.
Yeah.
That's
which it never really comes into like the final reel.
Right.
I mean, like it's like it revealed like he can say more than hi.
yeah.
Yeah.
But you never know why he knows it.
No.
There's never any there's no backstory to his character whatsoever.
Yeah, his character is a complete blank slate.
Right.
Aside from he was a cop, his buddy who dies in the beginning has more backstory than he does.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they spent a
established
whole lot
the
of
shit
time
out of that guy.
Yeah. And then it's like, well, he's fucking dead.
Yeah, it's like a whole
'cause-
thing with it's like they're on their first vacation in 6 months. They're partners in the DEA, but also like hanging out, and his wife's there, and his partner's wife and kid are there. They get sort of a backstory and then disappear for the whole fucking movie. Like you think they're going to be like part of the motivation. I mean, when you see this movie first, you're like, oh, that whole family's dead because of the way they're setting them up.
Yes.
And or
Tragic rock climbing accident.
and or
something.
partner's going to die, and like, oh, secretly he was always in love with the wife, and or something.
Well,
but no,
you figure the bad guys are going to then go after the wife and kid, just like, you know what, fuck you, White Tiger, we're going to really screw over everything and that's not what this is. It's just
they're there in the beginning and at the end. That's it.
Yeah.
It's like
but they're like rock climbing, and then they get a call, and it's the
basically
DEA.
just-
They're like, hey, come to Seattle.
yeah, we're
Leave
interrupting
New
your
York.
vacation for a pretty standard drug bust. We have to have you, and it's like,
Yeah,
Okay.
really, like this drug bust is the lamest thing they can imagine, because it is. First of all, like their orders are like, maybe we're going in, maybe not. I don't know. It depends on who's here or not.
if we actually lay eyes on drugs, we have the order to move.
Yeah.
But otherwise, it's basically just a
but it's
watch.
like these two don't offer anything extra to this
No.
process.
No.
They're just there.
Yeah, I mean, and for that kind of work, I mean, yes, I know the DEA would want credit, but it's like you can call in SWAT guys. Anyone can do a
Yeah.
raid. It's like it would still go to whatever agency initiated it.
Right.
But you can call in other
Yeah.
military-like people. You don't have to have these two people.
Because they're not even. This is not like, oh, years of trying to get
Right.
this Victor guy. We got it. This is our last chance to get him. Otherwise, he's going to flee the country or something. They don't know who this guy is.
No, and that's the other, this movie is like a parallel path of like I don't remember his name. Victor, is that his name?
Victor Wong.
Shang Tsung guy, right? So like he's like on a hey, screw your standard crimes aren't good enough. I want to do the drugs, or not do the well, he does do.
I want to
drugs.
sell the
I
drugs.
want to sell the drugs, and it's like the Godfather. Like
He
no,
wants to sell a different drug.
Yes.
He wants to sell crazy meth instead of. It's implied that they're selling other drugs.
well, it was implied that other people were selling drugs. I feel like the actual Triad guys were. I mean,
Yeah, I feel like the Triad was
they
not
never
involved in
say
drugs.
Triad at all. They just say elders and shit like that.
Yeah.
But it's like he has to go before a council, and he's like, hey, I've got this rad new idea for like that's going to make us a lot of money. And they're like, you're impatient, just like your father. Get the fuck out of here. We're not doing drugs. That's not the kind of crime we're about.
Right.
And
Crime with honor.
and then he just basically like starts going around and like taking out the competition more or less. It's like he goes to like a heroin dealer and blows them all up with the heroin because he's just like, well, that's a competing product on the street. If I get rid of them, it's
Well, the thing that they get called in to do was a deal between Victor and this other guy, part of the organization.
We mentioned that as
But
an
it was-
uncle.
Yeah.
But it wasn't a deal, though. It was just like, hey, here's this drug. And
Well, I think it
his
was.
uncle was like,
hey,
"Nah."
why don't you back me?
Yeah.
And Uncle was like, no.
I got
also not doing the drugs.
I got the impression that the uncle had some sort of like manufacturing facilities.
Sure.
For doing whatever other drugs he was into.
Maybe.
And like
Heroin.
heroin probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like,
and then he was just like,
why don't
hey,
you also make my meth?
yeah, why don't we just start making this? It does all the good things without all the bad things, and it's
Yeah.
highly addictive, and
It's
blah, blah, blah.
mentioned real quick that he went to like Stanford and has a chemistry degree or something, and he's created this meth that has no side effects or no addictive properties.
No, he said it's
No,
highly
he said
addictive.
it's
It's just-
super addictive.
Yeah, he said it's super addictive. It's just not.
No hangover.
Yeah, never like
yeah.
like
No
I guess
side
you-
effects.
like you want it a lot,
Your
but
teeth
you'll be
aren't
okay.
gonna fall out. I don't know.
Yeah.
What, meth side effects.
You won't be gross.
It's good meth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. As
It's-
we
it's
see
the
later,
healthy
it's-
meth.
But I'm
it's,
saying like it's weird because it's these parallel stories. It's like he is rising to his position,
Sure.
and along the way, it's just that they happen to cross paths. It's not like he was on some manhunt for this guy with this like
Yeah, no,
long
exactly.
standing thing.
That's the weird
or
thing about
even
it.
like he was like onto the trail of the people before him,
Yep.
and oh no, this other guy took out the person that I was
Yes.
hunting, and
Yeah, and they've already established him as just a bad dude because
Right.
the guy who had told the Triad leaders about the drugs, he goes and like puts a brand on the guy's forehead, says you'll never forget this, and then kills him.
snaps
Like
his neck.
2 seconds later, and
Yeah.
it's like okay,
It's like, yeah, he did, and he never forgot it.
but
You
but
made sure of that.
it just shows like he seems very fond of one-liners as he's offing a dude,
Not
which
good
is kind of
ones,
like Gary Daniels has no personality in this movie,
No.
so it feels like they've taken all that personality and put it into Shang Tsung, and
Because
so
he's having fun.
yeah,
That
Shang
dude's having
he's
a
the
good
only
time.
one having fun. It feels like
Yes.
because he is just like he's whenever he shows up, he's hamming it up
Yep.
somehow. He's doing something weird.
Yeah, because when they get to the drug bust, which is, okay, just a bunch of dudes explode out of a truck and hud all over the place. And then there's a bunch of drug dudes there, and, the two rival factions are there. And then a bunch of stunting cyclists on motorcycles show up, and they're part of this different organization.
yeah, because basically like the we see another meeting of the elder triads or whatever, and they're just like, this guy's a problem, just like his dad. Okay,
Yeah.
well, we have somebody to
take
deal
care
with
of
him.
it. Yeah, and that also made it seem like, oh, there's going to be a third main character in this.
Okay, well, they built it up. I mean, it is. I mean, it is a main character. It's just not who you expect right away. But
right.
yeah, but I mean, they're like, we have just the person. They do a hype man speech. It's like, we have just the person in mind, the same person that took out his father.
Right.
Dun, dun, dun.
Zoom on face.
And then Gary
you know.
Daniels basically gets kicked off the force for being there when his partner dies.
Well,
you
okay,
know.
so they are
Continue.
okay. So I mean, they're like, oh, it's going down. Oh, they killed the guy. Oh, the motorcycles have shown up and they're shooting at the bad guys. Should we do anything? But basically, what happens is
His partner tells him, no,
Yeah,
don't. And
don't.
Gary Daniels like, no, I'm going. I'm going in.
going in. So what happens eventually is the two main Gary Daniels and his partner think they are closing in on Victor from each side, but Victor gets the drop on one guy and steals his headset.
It doesn't make any sense.
And immediately he's like, I know where they are. And then he's got Gary Daniels' partner.
Yeah. Basically, he found the dude, the scout they sent in. Like,
Right.
like we're sitting in,
Yes, we're sending in
Ward
scout.
or whatever, and like he's going in first, and like,
Yeah.
and then they're like, oh shit, Ward's dead and shot in the back of the head. It's like it's a trap, and it's like what? Like
Yeah.
I don't. Okay, because he got the drop on him. You assume he also has a drop on.
Well, no, it's
I don't
because
know.
he took that dude's headset. So he's
Oh.
heard their whole plan
Okay,
of
fine.
go to Shed 5.
Sure. Yes.
So he just immediately grabs the partner, Matt Craven.
We don't even
Because-
see it. It's just off screen. He's just
Right.
like he's like he's a little.
Well,
busy
you know
right
it was
now.
going to happen just because the guy's like not taking cover doing it. Like
Right.
just
Well, he's just
he's
coming
so
full steam ahead.
Like he's so incredibly terrible at this.
Yes, they both are.
Because
They're both bad at their job.
Yeah, because I'll say this is one of those movies that exists in that time period that I absolutely love, where it was like you didn't have like a cop consultant or research or anything. They just
No.
wrote a script and like he's a cop, he stops crime,
Right.
And it's like how guy get to crime stop, and that's like half of the script writing process.
Yeah.
Whereas now it's like okay, well.
Yeah, there's no policy, there's no procedure, there's no
No,
tactics. It's just
because
I'm
none
here
of them
now.
have, like they're like anybody here met a cop? Go like, yeah, I knew one guy one time, and they're like, okay, what'd that cop do? So he ran with his gun. It's
All
like,
right, put
okay,
that in,
cool.
put that in.
Yeah, that's how we'll do this scene then. Guy's gonna run with a gun. He's a cop. He has to tell him he's a cop.
Yeah.
because I've heard you got to do that
you
if
gotta-
they ask.
You have to, yes. Which is true. Gary Daniels throughout this film tells people he's a cop,
And
then
nobody believes it.
And then 20 minutes later, people are like, "Wait, you're a cop?" It's like, I told you.
I think that only happens once. We just kept making the joke. All
I know.
All
Well,
right, all right,
yes.
okay. So this goes down. His partner gets shot by Shang Tsung.
He does,
Like
but there's-
it's a dramatic thing because it's like he gets let out to the dock and the partner's like, shoot him. He's like, I could without hitting you. That's my awesome accent.
Yeah, they had not watched Speed.
Right.
I do like that Victor's like, "Go away, we're bonding."
That's the thing is he's having the kind of fun that like no one else is bothering to have in this movie.
Right.
Despite the fact that he was in Mortal Kombat 1, they were basically like, hey, did you see the second one? Act like the people in that. Like, just be crazy. Like, just say the sassy and dumb lines that are, well, you'll just make them cool by how you deliver them.
Yeah.
They won't actually make any sense to anything that's going on. Like, no one
No.
would say this in a real situation, but if you ham it up enough, it'll be okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's basically what he's doing, and so drags him down to the end of the dock, and this is where the stunt comes up because shoots him in the back of the head, and he's like, fucking told you I was going to shoot him anyway, blam. And Gary Daniels has the no moment, but Victor does this leap off to a cigarette speedboat thing. I mean, okay, his stuntman leaps off the dock to a cigarette speedboat, but it's padded in the back. Like there's like the rear seat is like where you could like sort of recline.
Yeah.
And he hits this padding, does like a combat roll into a perfect seated position in the back of the boat.
Like I meant to
It's-
do that.
It's fucking amazing.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
and
real
yeah.
good. Like
And I mean, there's even a shot later where like the boat is driving right, and I'm pretty sure the stunt team was like pumping their arms at how good the stunt went
Yes.
and they just accidentally left it in like that they were really happy
that
did
they were
crimes.
just cheering. They were like,
Yeah.
"Yay, we did
Yeah.
crimes right."
Yeah, the crimes did
Yeah.
really well.
No, I think that was the
Yeah.
stunt team.
Oh,
Going,
absolutely.
Fuck! Did you see that? Holy shit! First take.
Well, yeah, I was about to digress on a whole other thing, but whatever.
Oh,
No, it's not important.
okay.
All right, but yeah, they his partner's dead, so now he's got to hunt down the guy who killed him.
Yeah,
Victor
boy,
Chow.
But he has
he's
so
like,
angry.
He has to have like some sad boy time first because like he goes back to some shitty ass hotel room they put in because first it's like he's back like listening to the post-mortem.
He goes to the briefing,
Right,
and
and then-
everyone's like, "You're done. Get out of here."
Yeah, it's like, this is too personal. He's like, you can't take me off, and like, and
fucking
Every
Beatles
time
is here.
Well, and also like, isn't it that they really hurry the whole funeral thing for the partner because
Oh yeah, because he sees the wife and kid off in the
like at the airport.
Yeah,
oh, it's all done in VO where she's just like, I don't
have a
it's
party.
It's just like they filmed a shot of like casket being loaded in a plane. They're like, well, we can't just show this, so they added this VO of the wife like doing this whole babbling thing, like, well, I guess it could be non-denominational because he just kind of made his own religion as he went along.
Yeah, and the kid
also-
and the kid who's like 10 is like, I'll take care of her, Gary Daniels.
Yeah.
don't worry
He's
about
like,
it. She's crazy.
But this, I mean, the only thing that's like notable about this filler scene is that like he's in this giant airplane hangar for some reason. Again, I don't know why.
They
There's,
got permission to film there.
sure,
and they're
I
gonna
just mean
use
it's
it.
like like it's not like the dude came back from a war and it would
I
be
know.
like
we'll see him
with
off.
a pile of other coffins or something like that. He was just one guy.
Well, lots of people did die at this
Okay,
raid.
a few people did, yes, but I mean, I don't think it's like let's load up the
Yeah,
flag-covered coffins in an airplane hangar kind of.
yeah, they're not
movie
getting a
scene.
cop funeral.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
But anyway, it's just a bunch of VO, and then like the airplane hangar doors closed, leaving Gary Daniels alone in this hangar, and it's just like, it's like Wes Anderson center framed and all this
Yeah.
dumb stuff.
Yeah.
It's, I don't know, it's just stupid. But he gets sad for a while, and eventually it's just like, all right, he's doodled the symbol that the guys had on their motorcycle helmets or something like
yeah,
that.
it's the dude's brand.
Yeah, and he's doodled that, has a couple of pictures of Victor, and it's just like, all right, stares at him for a couple days in the sad hotel room, and it's just like, all right, I've got to
Time to go to Chinatown.
gotta go do bad cop work.
Oh man,
There's
it's
my Australian accent.
just the
better
worst
than mine.
cop work.
Yeah, well, he basically just
I've
walks
been-
around
I've
until
been
he,
charging it up for like 10 minutes.
that's fine. Yeah. He basically walks around until he sees a bar, and it has the symbol over the door, and he just walks in, and he's like, hello. If you
Hello.
say,
Oi, Bruce!
oi, you see,
I want to know where Victor is.
yeah, there's Victor Chow.
Okay, first of all, so the music is pumping outside of this place when he goes in, and then he goes in and like kicks in hardcore. Like this is crunchy techno. Like you imagine as soon he walks in and he's reacting to things, and you're like, oh, there's going to be some shit
You
going
think
down.
it's gonna be
in-
like a crow style fuck club?
yes,
where it's
just
like
something
gothy fuck
really
club, yeah.
just obscene, and it's just average citizens in there. Some of them up on tables dancing, and you're like, ma'am, no.
It's just an Asian themed dance club. I mean, they
That's-
have a couple
yeah.
of go-go dancers that are on like lighted tables.
But this place is
I think
not.
it's just a Chinatown dance club. I don't know. Was
Yeah.
it necessarily Asian themed?
well, I
well,
just,
I'm just because that's where it's located.
yeah, that's what I meant.
It wasn't a
yes,
tourist
yeah.
spot.
No,
or
no,
anything,
no.
But
Yes, it's not like Hard Rock Asia
No,
or something.
it's
like
a
saying,
local
like,
bar.
Yeah, I mean, it's a local bar
Yeah.
nightclub.
It's just a club.
the
That's all it
music
is.
suggested a much more hardcore
Right.
place than they show.
Yeah.
And he just goes to the bartender, just like, "Hey, you know Victor Wong? I'm looking for him." And he's just like, doesn't say anything. He was like, "All right."
His name's not Victor Wong. You're about to you're about to walk into the joke I made when we were watching the movie. It's not his last name.
Oh,
I don't remember what it is, but it's not Wong. I'm 99% sure.
Tang?
Yeah,
Victor
it's like
Victor
Chow,
Tang?
Chow,
Chow, chow, chow, chow, chow.
Chow.
Because the
Sorry.
Somebody else was
punchline
Tang.
of this is that
It's
like,
because of you.
I know it is because of me. It is because of me, and I won't. Fuck, I'll say my joke again. It's from Hudson Hawk. We watched this movie for the show, but this is where he meets Jade, who is what's her face,
Nixon.
Louis Dreyfus.
Yeah, Nixon.
Julia Nixon.
Yeah, I couldn't remember if it was Julie or Julia. So
Juliet Nixon.
Nixon. Yeah, right. Who's Jade, and it's just me like, hey, you're a lady. Do you know her? Do you know this guy?
Yeah.
That's basically what he does because he asks the bartender to get the blank face, and then he just leans over, like she's literally like one, maybe two bar stools away from him.
She was sitting there when he asked the
Right,
bartender.
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm about to get to is that she's not. They're both not very observant because he very loudly asks the bartender, "Hey, isn't this Victor Chow's place? Or do you know where I can find him?" And just gets the blank stare and walk away. And then he's like, "I'll have what she's having," because she was cooling herself down with an ice cube for some reason, like out of her drink, just like like ladies always do in public places. Just it's so hot. Like I got to do the Diet Coke commercial.
Usually the just 9.5 weeksing all over the
Right,
place.
yeah.
There.
But yeah, he's just like, I'll have one of those, and it's like,
Well, he ordered a beer.
yeah,
and then looks over and is like,
Immediately decides,
no,
I want
give me
this."
that fruity drink.
Yeah. Well, he also says, "I'll have one of those." It's like it might be implied that he's talking about the lady, but yes,
Oh.
yeah,
It's hard to tell because he's not very convincing at anything he does.
right. But then she's just like, "Hey, what are you doing here?" And he's like, "I'm looking for, who are you looking for?" And he says the name again. It's like,
Yeah.
again, her just being there. And then she asks the bartender in Chinese, or asks him something in Chinese. And I don't know what dialect, that's why I'm not saying it. But he just pulls out a phone book and slaps it on the bar. And he's like, haha, funny. And that's what I said. I bet that has a lot of Wong numbers in it.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, that's
Why I'm saying wrong.
I know it's.
I apologize because of this motherfucker.
I know. Well, again, not my joke, guys.
Yeah. But yeah, he basically also pretty much introduces himself as a cop to her too, which is why 20 minutes
Right.
later she's like, "Wait, you're a cop."
Yeah, he says, well, he introduces himself as a cop. Then they like go somewhere and have a little bit more sexy, quiet time. And he mentions something about his partner, and she's like, "Oh, you're a cop?" And it's like, okay.
Well, yeah, this is after he beats up a bunch of dudes who jump him in an alley.
Right.
And then she just kind of walks out and was like, "They have a lot of friends. You might want to leave."
Yeah.
Which, by the way, she's a plant. I mean, she's totally
Yeah.
like,
Yes.
By the way,
she's
she-
there to
no,
report
she's
back
a person.
to
Yes, well, anyone who was an actual cop would know this immediately.
Yeah.
Right.
He never catches on.
Never.
Like even after catching her on the phone with the guy. it's
oh no,
just-
he totally caught on. That was the reveal. Look,
it was the reveal, but he still was very stupid about it.
yes. That's the thing is like this
There's a
movie-
lot of
That's the only time he's smart about something is when
Right.
he's playing stupid about something.
Yes, that's the only time.
One
I mean,
time.
that's the thing is like this movie is so inconsistent because it's like look at how clever they are, and then watch them do the Prometheus dumb shit. Just like oh poke poke, and
Yeah.
so it's weird because every once in a while it's like oh wait that's actually clever that he speaks Mandarin or Cantonese is acting like he doesn't understand what she's saying even though he totally does and knows that
And he
she's
still bones the heck out of her.
yeah he does
He does, yeah.
It's a pro move.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's the
Pro
assassin.
bono.
She's the assassin, by the way. And this revelation comes much later because she's just kind of, sort of helping him out, and then, the audience sees her have like a conversation, I think, with Victor before
Yes.
the phone call.
Oh,
Because there's also a shot of like her, obviously kidnapped daughter or whatever.
well, it's like the second that he's like, "All right, I got to go."
Yeah.
Something suddenly came up. She goes upstairs and calls Victor.
Yeah, I'm saying it's like early on that we know she's at least working for him.
Yeah.
We just don't know. I mean, even though you can figure it out that she's also the assassin
Right.
that killed his dad, which comes to light later, obviously. But,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, who would have known that someone named Jade was going to be an assassin?
That's weird.
Yeah,
I would
it's
not have
really
imagined
weird.
that.
Like, it's like peppermint being something other than a stripper.
But it's at this point that he gets a motorcycle and tries to blend in with the other motorcycle gang as they head to the location where Victor is going to blow up the guy in the van. They all go there, and he's just talking to this guy who's talking like Scarface for some reason. I kept thinking he was doing it as a joke, like, haha, I'm a drug dealer, I'm Scarface, but he kept doing it. And I was like, oh, okay, your character really talks like that. So that's unfortunate.
What you talking about, man?
Yeah, he did that first, and I was
I
like,
know.
okay, I get it. And then he kept doing it, and I was like, oh no, that's your character, huh? That's yeah. So yeah, basically the guy's like, no, we're not doing a deal with you, and so Victor beats up his whole crew and throws him in the back of the van, and they throw a bomb in there too and blow up the van.
And the guys don't even try to go out the front of the van.
No,
No.
there's the back door or
Yeah. At first, I was like, "How are they keeping them out?" And then it pulls back, and you see that they've wedged a 2x4 on the door handle. But still, yeah, I
there's
guess,
probably a cage. You can't get to the front. It's one of those vans.
They could have used the
Despite all-
bomb to smash out the
despite all their
window.
rage,
They should have used the bomb.
despite
Sometimes you just
despite him
can't.
being enraged, these guys were still just rats in a cage.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because yes, Gary Daniels is near there, and basically like.
Well, he rolled up on his motorcycle
Yeah,
because
yeah.
he was tailing the other dudes.
Yeah, he
but
cut-
then
but he
gets
could-
off his
And then he-
motorcycle.
and ran to where the explosion happened.
Right.
Yeah, and then like that's when the cops show up and are like, "Hey,
You're not supposed to be here.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
And
Well,
then,
no, they don't do that. They straight up arrest him. He's like, I'm a cop.
Oh,
He's like,
right.
shut up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Then,
and
then
then
the
I
other
don't
guy comes
care.
in. It's like, oh, wait, no, he's DEA.
the other dude who may be DEA, I'm not." That's the other thing is like,
He's one of those characters that the way the guy plays it, you're like, oh man, that guy's crooked as fuck. But apparently he isn't.
which one? The first cop?
The one who arrested him at first, and then who was later at
Oh,
the
the-
crime scene.
I don't
the beardy,
know.
to let
like-
them in.
I
Yeah.
honestly don't know if he was crooked.
No,
or
I
not.
think the beardy guy was not in on it.
Okay. I mean, they did leave him outside,
Well,
which
we will
would
say-
imply, I don't know. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, this is a whole subplot that doesn't fucking go anywhere.
No.
Because yeah, they arrest him and then they let him off, and then whoever's leading the investigation on Victor is like, Gary Daniels, you got to leave, man. It's too personal. You got to get out of here.
Yep. Too close.
And yeah, all that standard
Yeah.
boilerplate shit.
So we're taking you back to the
Yeah,
hotel.
so he
pack
makes-
your bag.
Yeah, he makes the other cop take him.
Now, okay.
And then it starts to become a raw deal because for a second, the guy's like, he's like, all right, you have 10 minutes to go up and get your shit from the hotel, and I'm taking
Yeah.
you straight to the, or what, Red Heat, actually. Sorry, not raw
Yeah,
deal.
right.
But yeah, he's like, got 10 minutes to get your shit from the hotel, and I'm taking you straight to the airport. And then he gets back downstairs, and Victor is rolled by on a motorcycle and be like, I'm tired of you toying around. Just fucking kill him.
Yeah.
And so he gets back down, acts like he's been on the radio. He's like, oh, we got a tip. Victor's down at this place, and Captain said you can come along if you
Okay.
play along.
Here's
Yeah, no.
here's
idiot.
stupid thing number 17. Is that Gary Daniels went to his room, packed it up, and was going to go with him. He's in town to get revenge for his friend, and then just decided, yeah, you're right. I'll just go back to the airport and go home.
He's a good cop. He follows the rules.
Bullshit. Fuck this guy. He's a fucking idiot. He doesn't care about his friend, as we'll see several times throughout this film. But this was the first time. He was just like, yeah, you're right. I should go home. But yeah, then this guy, because now he's got the murder boner passed on to him from the real bad guy.
Yeah. So yeah, he just takes him to empty building.
Yeah, they got.
Hold on, just let that pass. That's real loud.
They've come for us.
It was the Gary
Come
Daniels
for it.
squad.
Yeah.
They came for our accents.
It's the Aussie copter squad. We heard you were doing accents.
Yeah, we did.
Anyway,
Yeah, they take him. They say there's. Oh well, we've got a hot tip
Hot tip.
that the lab's here.
The lab's
Right.
in this building.
yeah, the cap says you can come along if you play along, I guess. And so it's just like go to empty building where there's the one cop from earlier, and then supposedly another cop around back watching, and he's just like, "Well, backup's on the way." And Gary Daniels stupidly is like, "Well, we should just go in. We might lose him." And the guy's like, "Yeah, that's a good plan.
Let's do
you
that."
stay here. We'll go inside." So they pick up cop who actually was around back.
Yeah.
Who we've previously never seen, I don't think. He might have been
No.
in the background of one of the previous scenes, but
No, we never saw him.
it was never established because he also doesn't have a SAG card.
No.
Because he's just like in the background, and then they're like, all right, split up. And it's obviously just this abandoned fucking medical building place. You know, not anything like, you know, there's no activity, signs of activity.
There's
in this place.
literally nothing happening in this building.
Yeah, and it is silent. So
Right.
it's like they're just stalking from room to room. But
Yeah.
it's like
There's nothing.
if you
here.
had a tip, you would hear them doing their normal thing.
Right,
Yeah.
especially if if a tip came from somebody not a cop. I mean, especially it's like, you know, there's
Yeah.
a level of noise or something that has to
Yeah.
be happening to make an average citizen pick up the phone and call the police. But anyway,
But
so-
of course, that other cop tries to
Tries
kill
to,
him.
yeah. He shoots
Immediately
the cop.
gets shot.
and then for whatever reason, the cop we knew was dirty, the one who has a speaking role, basically is like, "Hey, you killed my partner. Now you're gonna die," and then tries to shoot him and just begins a fist fight. To which he ends up losing by being shot like 20 times. I think Gary Daniels like empties.
Gary Daniels empties the rest of his bullets into that man, but not before that man beats the fuck out of Gary Daniels,
Yeah.
which is one of many times Gary Daniels will get his ass handed to
And
him
it's
in this
weird
film.
because it's like this guy's like 15 to 20 years older than Gary Daniels.
I mean,
Because this is young Gary Daniels. This is like late 20s Gary Daniels,
Fucking
like prime
ripped,
of his.
oiled up
Yeah.
Gary Daniels gonna rip out your fucking throat, Gary Daniels.
And this guy looks like he's been a desk cop for the past 30 years.
What's his actor's name? The guy who's been in like a billion things. I said he was in the Lady Killers. The Coen
oh, this
Brothers
actor
version.
George Chung.
Yeah, I mean he's been in a billion things. But I'm saying even in 1995, imagine what he. I mean, if you saw the Lady Killers, that was like 10 years later. But imagine him 10 years senior taking
Yeah.
on Gary Daniels.
Well, he's
Yeah.
got a salt and pepper
younger.
mustache, and he just looks
I
like
know.
he's seen some shit.
yeah,
Gary Daniels hadn't oiled and powered up yet, though. So
that's true. Yeah.
he
know.
was oiled underneath.
No, he was not. He was very dry. He was very dry for most of this movie. Dry.
I hate a tepid Gary Daniels.
Oh my
Right.
God.
Very
yeah.
dry. Gary Daniels.
Yeah. But anyway, Gary Daniels ends up shooting him.
yeah.
And then the other cop finally comes up and is like, "Hey, man, what the hell?" And Gary Daniels runs away.
Because he emptied his bullets into
Yes.
that other man.
Yeah, that's why I still don't know if this guy was dirty or not, because he's just like, hey, you killed both of them, die! And yeah, this guy empties his gun down a hallway and
I
misses
think
him.
he was because he didn't see any of it, and when he reported to the chief or whatever, he was like, I saw Gary Daniels gun them both down in
Yeah.
cold
Yeah.
blood and then
Yeah,
run
'cause
away.
He was
Yeah,
in on the
that's
whole
true.
I called backup's coming
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
scam.
Yeah, there's also...
that is true. Yeah, the
the
backup
other-
never showed up.
The other main thing that like is a problem with this movie, besides horrible action geography, we've always talked about that. Like
Yeah.
that first sequence was like when they were doing the drug raid where his partner dies. I had no idea where anybody was.
Oh, no.
Because, I mean, it's just a bunch of warehouses with random numbers, and they're just like, I'm in number 3. It's like, cool, I'm in number 4. It's like, great, where's that? I don't know.
And like the timing is so weird in that scene, like Mackie pointed out, is that the sharpshooters who are perched up on the roof watch like 20 dudes get massacred before they're like, hey, should we open fire on this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
And then those guys are like the only guys that have optical sights on their weapons,
Yeah.
and they've been sitting there training their guns on these guys
Yes.
and miss all of their first shots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
It-
fucking whiff.
this is the other thing is, like, this movie also acts like everything is soundproof, that, like, you can't hear guns.
Oh, yeah.
Because there was enough time from when the first cop tried to shoot him and he gunned him down to, like, the fist fight. That guy should have arrived much sooner, the guy that was standing outside. And just like in the last battle, which is in a ship, there's a whole fucking gun battle going outside that nobody inside the ship hears. Like, Victor's literally inside the ship, oblivious to what's going on outside, while it's like Rambo's happening out there. So,
Yes.
anyway, but yeah, so he's kind of on the run now. It never really becomes an issue other than like a
Yeah,
newspaper
other
or
than
two.
you see a newspaper,
Yeah,
and,
and then
you know that he can't go to the cops for anything.
Right, and
Right.
Jade mentioned something like, I saw you on the news, and he's like, it's a mix-up, don't worry about it. And she's like, okay, I'm not worrying about it.
Yeah, it's also weird how it goes down because, the guy who says, oh, yeah, I saw him open fire on the 2 cops and blah, blah, blah. And, like, Gary Daniels' boss from earlier, who seemed on board with everything Gary Daniels was doing, is like, you guys do what you got to do.
Yeah,
and
he
it's
was like, take him down.
Yeah, and it's not like he was, like, this guy's worked with Gary Daniels for a while.
Yeah.
You would think he'd be like, that doesn't sound like Gary Daniels.
Yeah, no, immediately all the
No,
cops are
he's
just
just-
like, yeah,
yeah.
you're right. He went feral.
Yeah, pretty much.
Take care of him.
Yeah, they're like,
Yeah.
he's rabid. You gotta deal with it.
Gary,
But like I said, that plot goes nowhere.
No.
All that is a plot point to say he's not going to have any help,
right, no help.
and that's it.
He's on his own. He has learned from Jade that businesses that have that branding on it have Victor's protection. So he's like, oh, they have his protection, eh? And then so he goes to a mahjong parlor and fucks this place up. Like, he just walks in and is like, hey, where's the mahjong? And they're like, you get out of here. He's like, nah.
He only fucks up the security for the mahjong parlor.
Yeah,
No. That one man was just playing mahjong who came down the stairs and he got fucking wrecked.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe.
But he doesn't really fuck up the parlor. Like,
He does
No,
shoot,
he
he does
put-
shoot the middle of the mahjong
He
table.
put some bullets into some tables, but
this was, man, I was really like,
this was a shitty area with some shitty card tables in it.
dude, there were 30 card tables in there. All he did was shoot one of them
I know.
to get his point across. His idea was to, like, he had this idea, like, I'm going to rough up the businesses with the logo on them. And all he does, like, is shoot a hole in a table.
I know.
And I feel like also he just walks in there going like, where is Victor Chow?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm a cop. Where's Victor Chow?
well, yeah, he was like, if y'all know Victor Chow,
Yeah.
tell him Mike
Where's
Ryan.
Victor Chow?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Mike
just
Ryan is
you-
pissed.
you figure that okay, this is going to be a montage of him going to all these businesses, these
Exactly. And just,
and just fucking
beating
up
the tar. Yeah.
fucking up businesses left
Dude
and right.
flying out a window.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. But no.
I wanted all of those mahjong tables smashed to bits, all the tiles flying everywhere.
NOPE.
Yeah.
Nope.
No, that's not what happens.
Nope.
Nope.
No.
Nope.
Nope. It's a hard word to say when you're Australian. I just learned.
Wow, that's really
Yeah.
culturally insensitive.
But
I
yeah,
don't-
this
I don't
does
care
this
about
does barely
It's also
anything.
a country song, I
Australia.
think.
Like from here, I don't even remember what it transitions to get him.
I don't
to
know what
his
the
next
result
point.
of that is.
I think he goes outside and calls her.
He
Isn't that
does.
it? And
yeah,
then
she does,
picks
and
him
she
up.
comes and
Yeah.
picks him up.
And then
It-
they fuck.
It really didn't do anything.
no,
Yeah.
it didn't
No,
do
no.
a damn thing.
They don't fuck yet. They go
They go to the dojo where she calls
Yeah,
Victor.
I'm pretty sure. Like,
and basically says, "Hey,
I mean, that's the thing is like this movie feels like it has 2 acts. You're like, what? Okay, I'm now off the force and ready to go crazy.
Yeah, but
I
they-
wreck one made up fake mahjong parlor where it has like plywood tables that we could have totally wrecked everything in.
But they end up in the dojo because they were running from something.
Sure.
It wasn't
oh
just
yeah, well they go to some parking garage for no reason,
yeah,
Right.
that's
and then they
yeah.
get chased through the parking garage by dudes
I think
on
it's her,
motorcycles.
I think it's the parking garage next to where she lives, which was established
Yes,
earlier.
because they
that's
were
on the-
going to her. They were going back to her house.
Yeah.
okay.
And
they're-
then they
they're
got accosted.
parking
Yeah.
in her parking
Yeah,
garage.
well, they
and
got,
then
they got in the middle of the
synchronized-
crossfire because the synchronized cyclists came or motorcyclists came in, and then Mercedes parked and they were like, oh shit, and then they just dropped and like they shot at each other.
Yes, and basically the people in the car murdered all the motorcyclists.
Well, yeah, because
Right.
they have a car.
Right.
And that's not really explained either, is it?
Oh no, it's explained like in the scene where she's calling.
Yeah.
She's like, "Your dude's almost killed me."
Yeah, that was
wasn't very
basically-
funny. And he's like, "Yeah, actually, it was."
that was the syndicate just taking out those.
Yeah, see, that's
Okay.
that's what's confusing. Is it feels like sometimes the motorcycle dudes show up and they're Victor's guys, and other times they show up and they're the Syndicate's guys.
Yeah, I was never sure
That's
if
what
this was
doesn't
like
really
a
make
third
sense.
faction.
Oh, so the Mercedes guys were the syndicate
I
guys,
think. Yeah.
and they
Yes,
were trying
yeah.
to shoot the motorcycle guys.
Yeah,
Okay.
Victor's
because
guys.
one of the other previous times
All
the
right, I
motorcycle
get
guys
that.
showed up. Oh, they showed up to the Scarface guys drug
Right.
deal thing, and they just rolled up and like everyone dropped their guns.
yeah,
and
but they were
Victor-
there for Victor's
like
sake.
Victor's
Yeah,
backup.
motorcycle guys were always
Yes.
Victor's guys.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
I
but
get
but
it.
it's just the triad is also it has an interest in Victor being gone,
Right.
which we learn a little bit later. But it's just like it's at this point it's just confusing because you're like, wait, people got shot and then they took off and what?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And that's when they run and they
Yeah.
end up. It's weird. You think they just duck into like this build. They're like, oh, we'll be safe in here, and it's like, oh, this is someone's dojo. What are you doing in here? But then they just act like it's fine.
yeah.
We're fine here.
And that's when
Decorate
she
it
calls,
as you
yeah.
please.
Yeah, and she calls Victor and she speaks to him, in language that Gary Daniels understands. We learn later, but it is basically saying, "Hey, I can bring him to you. What do you want me to do?" And he's like, "Well, why don't you just kill him yourself?" She's like, "Well, I don't do that anymore."
Yeah,
Yeah,
He's like, oh, that's a pity. Okay, yeah, bring
he's-
him to me.
He basically acts like he gets more information than the one-sided phone conversation. Really, like because
Yeah.
Victor's just speaking English. Doesn't matter. He's on his side of the phone. You can't hear him. But yeah. So we're getting that, and then subtitles for the other bit, which, like I said, Gary Daniels, or you said Gary Daniels understands as well, and
but we don't know that.
we
at
don't
the
know
time.
that at the time. But yes,
Right.
it's just like then she just
We're like, "Oh no,
It's
he's
real-
being set up."
it's really weird because it's just like she's like,
Oh,
I'll
no.
deliver him to you, like you just be ready or something, and then it's like a weird switch flips, and she just goes over and it's like it's sexy time now.
She just kind of straddles him.
Yeah, it's real weird. Like
and it's just like, so, sex now, and it's
Well,
like,
she's like, "I can deliver you to the fire, but will it consume you or will it cleanse you?"
right? Yeah, she says
And
some
then-
weird sex talk.
Yeah, and then he doesn't respond, and
He
It's like
responds
it-
with his tongue.
yeah, he responds into like a boring ass 10-minute sex scene.
So
God.
she's trying to seduce him to further gain his trust.
Yes, but
boring,
but
boring
then-
10-minute ass sex scene is my title of my sex tape.
But then his 10 minutes of boring fucking really did it for her, and that turned her back to
Right.
Yeah,
because he's
Actually, no, it's all just a setup for her to kill Victor Chow.
Right.
Chow anyway.
yeah.
Nothing matters except killing Victor Chow for her.
He's either going to be warned or he's been warned about her. Someone tells him like this is what Victor does.
I don't even remember any of that.
Well, he had a meeting with like top triad dude.
Yeah.
I don't remember at what.
That's
I-
later.
Okay.
That's later because because this feels like okay, we're going into the end of the movie
Right.
here.
Right.
This
okay.
feels like a short ass movie.
we are skipping something because like they go in, they do run into the dojo like while they're after the shootout, and then she patches them up a little bit or something,
Yeah.
and then I don't fucking remember. But anyway, like because that triad dude comes to this dojo.
Yeah, he comes after they go
After.
to Victor's
Yeah,
house.
they go to
which
Victor's
is where
and
they're
then
going
leave.
now,
All right.
which feels like
Yeah.
it should be the end of the movie. But
Yeah, you're right.
he
Yeah,
can, he basically he's
They go to Victor's
he's going
sweet
through
ass
and,
house.
Yeah, and there's a bunch of slow mo shots of guys being surprised and then shot, and we're like, oh no, Gary Daniels is killing everyone. But no, he's not.
No.
Yeah,
He
but
just he snuck in again in his motorcycle outfit,
Yeah.
and everyone's just nodding at him like motorcycle
Yeah.
guy, and he's
Hey.
like, "Yep." And then one guy just looks at him a bit too long, and then Gary Daniels is like, "No, I'm snapping this guy's neck."
Oh no, he headbutts him with the helmet on.
Yeah,
which is
he
even better.
knocks him out.
Yeah.
But yeah, he gets up to Victor and is like,
Gets the drop on him.
yeah, he's like, "I used to be like you."
There's a bunch
then-
of
but you
shooting
killed
first,
my
right?
partner.
Wasn't there a bunch of
It's
shooting?
her going around
It's,
killing
it's
everybody.
her. She's there
But they don't show
assassinating
any
all
of
of
it.
the guards.
Yeah.
Because Victor's looking around like, "Why are my guards not coming
The reveal
in?"
happens because like she walks in like wearing I guess her super slutty assassin outfit because it's like I don't know, it's like it's weird because it's like just a chainmetal bra and stuff. It's,
yeah,
it's-
but
it's
before,
like-
before she
he's
walks in,
confronting Victor, and Victor's like, "All right, cop man, arrest me because you're a pussy and you won't kill me."
all of you have the same code. You
yeah,
can't.
and he's doing like the I want to shoot you, but
He's doing the.
you're under arrest, I guess. And then
like,
she's
"I
like,
can't."
she just strolls in and is like, why don't you just finish it?
Yeah.
Why didn't she just finish it?
I don't
Well,
know.
and then she's like, "Well, sorry about this," and then turns the gun on him, and you're like, "What the fuck is going on?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
She should have just shot Victor.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, Gary Daniels should have just shot Victor.
Yes, he
in the
should have,
first place.
because he has a raging murder boner to avenge his partner
And
on
then he
everyone except the one guy who did
Yeah,
it.
and then once he gets there, he decides, "Okay, I'm going to arrest him
Right.
now." And it's like,
Right.
no,
Yeah.
like that guy will rule the prison. If you put that guy in prison, that guy will probably be better off in fucking prison.
Oh yeah, this guy's gonna be kingpin
Yeah.
immediately.
Yes.
Um,
but
But
anyway,
then she should have shot him.
Yes,
The second she walked in
Right.
the room, should have
because the elders have hired her to
Yes.
take him out.
but instead she turns over to Gary Daniels and is like, "You should have shot him." And then while they're all sort of fake arguing about who's supposed to shoot who, fourth man comes in out of nowhere, literally nowhere, and just karate chops guns out of hands.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, it's on.
Well, he
Yes.
does that. He does that cool double kick and
Yes.
like both guns out of the way.
and they're like, "What the fuck?"
Yep. So Victor kidnaps her, takes off in the boat.
Yes.
While
She
Gary
apparently
Daniels
has no fighting skill.
apparently
she can
she's
only
just good at
guns.
shooting people.
Guns.
And yeah, so Victor just snatches her up.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And so Gary Daniels has an extended fight with this guy, which isn't.
Man, he fights this guy for 30 seconds, and then the movie introduces this guy. It's weird. It's
Yeah.
like they fight, and then all of a sudden this guy gets a slow-mo hero shot, and you're like, "Oh, he has arrived." And it's like,
This
"Hello,
dude-
sir."
This dude's been in the movie the whole time. This was
Yeah.
this
I know,
was-
but
Yeah.
he's never been a
Oh, I
prominent
know.
face.
Well, I mean, he was there. Like he had weird like double
Yeah,
ponytails.
yeah.
In
But
the,
he
in
gets
the
a like an
Scarface.
introduction.
He shows up like he's the right-hand man to Victor, and now it's time for these two who have hated each other the entire movie to fight, which they do, but they have really never interacted before.
No.
Except right when he got the gun kicked out of his hand, and that's what he's kind of upset about.
Yeah. And it's an okay fight scene.
It's-
I was about to say pretty good,
It's-
but it's kind of.
This one's punctuated. The only thing of real note is the dude does the classic like sidekicks flying kick. Sort of like and. I don't know why I just always remember the fucking three ninjas like all in the, well no the
Yeah.
all three ninjas were in that same pose on the fucking cover.
Yes.
Yes.
But like as the dude is flying over, Gary Daniels does almost like a Johnny Cage sort of quasi split and just up punches him in the
Yeah.
testes as he's flying.
Yeah.
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 he
And then
does.
the guy
Yeah,
stumbles
he was,
around.
He was a
and,
testes pilot.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Gary Daniels gets him in a leg lock and snaps his fucking neck.
Without even a
Literally
second thought.
2 minutes earlier was like, "I can't kill you, guy who killed my partner in
Yep.
cold blood," and laughed about it.
Yep. Like, I just can't bring myself. I'm not motivated enough to do it. But if someone kicks
Yeah.
at me, look out. I'm going to murder them. Twice in this scene. So he's done it one time before. He does the kip up thing when he gets knocked on his back and he jumps back up. Twice in this scene, I almost thought they were going to do the coolest shit. And it just looks more like an accident than anything else. But twice when Gary Daniels is kipping back up, it looks like the guy's like, "I'm prepared for this. I'm going to kick you in the face as you're doing that," which would be the coolest shit ever.
Yeah.
Because that move is the cockiest move ever of just like, "You've knocked me down. Well, check out this shit. I'm just going to..." Like, if you could get a guy doing that and then fucking murder his face as
Yeah.
he's getting back up, that would be fucking awesome.
Yeah, and
But-
they've established like Gary Daniels gets his ass kicked regularly in
Yeah,
this movie.
yes.
Despite being Gary Daniels.
That's the kind of move like a Indiana Jones character needs to do, though. Like, I mean, it just needs to be like I'm so over fighting you. Just
Sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, this is like he kip ups like 6 times in this movie.
Yes.
But also, it's like at least 2 or 3 of them. It's like he combines another move in it. Because
does.
like the one
In-
where
in the-
yeah, the one where it looks like he's about to get kicked in the face, he actually just grabs the guy's leg and pulls
Yeah.
him out
Yeah.
from underneath him.
And the
then-
one in this scene that we're talking about,
oh no, I think it's the same scene. He like
That was inside. Then he goes
inside,
outside.
yeah,
and does
then he
it
goes,
again.
then
then he goes
outside-
outside. When he kips up outside is when he smacks him in the dingus. Yeah.
was it? I thought
Yeah,
he
I think
did
that
something else.
Yeah,
but
I think
thought
it's
that-
when he did a kip up to dingus punch. Yeah,
yeah.
You got a
or-
down circle left.
yeah.
It's the old
It's
kip
in-
up combo.
It's in Nintendo Power this
right.
month.
Yeah, my uncle told me.
Yeah, but anyway, he snapped this guy's neck and be like, "Oh no, she's gone," with the
It's-
guy that I was going to arrest.
They get on a boat and just boat away, and he's
And-
just like, "Well, I guess they're gone forever."
Yeah, and he's so stupid. I expected him to just jump in the water and start swimming after the
Yes.
boat.
It's like I'm Lethal Weapon, but
The
swimming.
good thing about this is like as they're boating away, driving away, whatever, off into the sunset, Victor's just flashing a big old bird as they're going across this lake. It's just kind of like I said, it's the little flares that he adds
Yeah.
to this. It's just like fuck you.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's when Gary Daniels goes back to the dojo
Hard
and
cut.
gets met by the triad.
Well, hard cut to Gary Daniels, oiled up, fucking just training his ass, just like I'm
He's powering up.
doing all my moves now, and that's when Old Man Triad comes in and is like, "Hey, listen, stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know."
yeah, he's
Well,
like,
it's basically like, hey, if two enemies were in a boat together and a storm happened, they'd help each other, and that's what I'm offering. Like
Yeah, instead of just shortening it and saying, "Hey, the enemy of my enemy is my friend," then
several times, people talk in really bad metaphor.
Yeah.
Like the
Yeah.
I don't
like-
understand.
it's like it's the original Chinese script came back,
Kind
and
of.
they're like, "Well,
Yeah.
let's just translate this and see how it works."
Or they translated it like directly instead
Yeah.
of
That's what I
that's what I
translating
mean.
the
Because
meaning.
like the cleanse versus burn in the fire, like why would it be extinguished? Like
Yeah.
like that's what you would do in your metaphor. Like
Yeah.
this guy is a fire and I
Yeah.
need to extinguish it. Yeah.
whatever. He's like, "I'm on your side till I'm not." Is that cool? And Gary Daniels is like, "All right, whatever.
Yeah, it's like as long as that's clear.
Look at me. I'm
Yep.
oiled up now.
So,
I'm wet, Gary
so
Daniels."
apparently Victor lives on this boat
yeah,
because they've shown him like when he's just chilling,
Mm-hmm.
hanging out in his little den.
It's a great boat. I mean, it's
Yeah.
got an opium den and a meth
Yeah,
factory.
well, from the outside, it's like a shit
Oh, yeah, it
ass
looks like
old.
shit.
oh, it's
boat.
like an old like casino paddle boat, weird. Just
It's not that bad. It's not a riverboat.
no, but I mean,
It's
it's
just-
not. It's
it's
not like an
pretty
old
big,
school
yeah.
one, but I mean,
No,
just
it's a lesser.
it's a rusty ass like.
It's a boat that's been rode hard and put away.
Yeah.
wet.
It's what cruise ships used to be before they were like, let's make them,
Yeah.
skyscrapers.
Nice.
floating
on-
Disneylands.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you had everyone in the crew had to get a tetanus shot, both
Yeah.
before and after.
I mean,
doing
it's a
any
good
work on
disguise
this.
for your opium den /
Yeah.
drug manufacturing area.
Yeah.
But yeah.
it's like a
and it's easy
like
to
a
blow up
water-based
at the end
RV.
of your movie. So
Yes.
But he's
exactly.
taken her there, and he's got her like tied up on his bed, and she mentions that, "Oh yeah, I killed your father. Haha, fuck you." And
He tries to choke her on the trachea with his little branding iron.
Yeah, with
it's
his little branding
real
iron.
weird.
Yeah.
and then just decides, "Hey, let's just do a lot of meth."
yeah,
And so, but it's like a weird like meth bong thing going on.
It's like it's a hookah ish.
kind of.
It's
but
kind
like,
of.
esque. It's got like a
It's got
like a
It's got the
an
face
oxygen
mask.
mask hooked up
Yeah.
to
yeah,
it.
yeah, he did
yeah,
have
they're
the
doing the whole
blue
Pabst
velvet.
Blue
Yeah, the
Ribbon
Frank
thing, you
Booth.
know?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so he makes her huff a whole bunch of it, and then does some himself,
okay.
and then just like kind of zones out from that point.
I have never seen a film where the bad guy zones out on drugs while the good guy is clearly coming for him.
Yeah.
Like
There are gunshots on the boat at that point,
Yeah.
aren't there? Yeah.
Yeah,
and
I
he is
mean,
just out of
There's
his
one
mind.
Big movie I can think of that we just talked about earlier, Scarface.
Yeah, but
Different kind of zoned out of your mind.
yeah,
Like,
he's methed out.
He was doing that to give himself superpowers. This one, we don't know what he was doing.
'Cause, like-
Not at first. I mean, that scene begins and just
I
like,
know.
look, you're coming. I don't care. And then eventually it's like, oh yeah.
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 Because this is intercut with so Gary Daniels has donned a scuba suit and is climbing up the anchor
oh,
chain.
Don Scoot. My favorite underwater director.
He's like Dino De Laurentiis, but
Yeah.
he's
Right.
He filmed all that Thunderball shit.
Don the Scuba Scoot.
Don the
Yeah.
scuba
Don
suit.
the scuba
Second unit director.
Yeah,
Don
yeah. If
the
you can
Scuba
get
Suit.
Don the scuba suit on your second unit, you've got a winner.
Yeah. I mean, I thought Jan de Bont was good, but Don
the scuba suit is who you
I
need.
mean, when they
So sorry.
He's shooting underwater.
listen, when they move that guy up to like a full-time director for some action franchise,
Yeah.
you watch out.
The Abyss 2, directed by
Don
Don
the scuba suit. Jesus Christ.
I'm sorry.
So anyway,
So Donald the scuba suit gets on the boat.
they're intercutting between Gary Daniels murdering fools on his way to get to Victor, and Victor, out of his mind on drugs, like trying to angry cuddle this lady while also then like, well, that's not gonna work, and then like, get up, we're gonna dance. So
Yeah.
so
Oh, he also brands her.
he does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, this is all very Blue Velvety because I mean he spoons her at one point. Is like, I'm never gonna let you go.
Yeah.
And then like he gets up and starts like dancing with her near unconscious corpse.
Yeah,
Basically,
it's
Last Dance with Mary Jane.
yeah.
Yeah.
But so yeah, Gary Daniels is just going through murdering everybody except the cook, who's smart enough to get the fuck out of there.
I love when movies throw that in, where the one guy's like, I'm not involved.
I
I'm
just work
leaving."
here.
Yeah.
Preparing these carrots, these piles of carrots that you're about to murder with your gun.
It's time for my smoke break. I will see you never again.
Peace out.
Like on breakdown.
I don't know what's happening here. Yeah. Yeah, he's having no problems murdering any of these other people who are coming towards him.
Yeah. I mean, he basically takes out the whole boat
Yeah.
and then finally gets to Shang Tsung. And
Victor eventually is like, meth strength, and leaves to go deal with this.
well, he's like, put her down. Or no, he says, put her down. And
On
then
deck.
he's like, well, here. And he just chucks her
Yeah.
at him. And he's like, get back here.
Oi.
He goes and gently puts her on the bed.
Yeah.
And then goes after them, and they fight like in the meth lab.
Yeah, he immediately runs to the meth lab, which begins a gun battle in the meth lab, which of course catches some chemicals on fire.
Bad
which
idea.
Starts a fire on a boat in
Now,
the meth lab.
I will accept that Victor is doing stupid bad guy shit at the end of this movie because he's out of his mind on meth.
Correct.
Because
He's a method actor.
because he is just at this point is just destroying his entire empire for no good reason. It's not like he is like, you've screwed me for the last time, Mike Ryan or whatever.
Moik Ryan.
Moik Ryan.
Yeah.
What was his crime?
You know what it was.
Yeah. So the meth lab is now on fire.
Yeah, he threw a Molotov at Moik Ryan.
He did.
He does chuck Gary Daniels through a window of some kind.
He does.
Yep.
Has him down on a desk and looks over and picks up the phone and says, "It's for you." Punch.
Yeah.
Which is
And he hits him with the
hands
phone.
down the best thing in this fucking movie.
Yep.
That was hand set down. The yeah.
Yeah. By the way, y'all probably wonder why we watched this movie. Well, the trailer was a minute and a half of just all the kicking, and I was like,
Yeah.
well, that looks pretty good, and it had that in it, and I was like, well, fuck yeah, if there's
Yeah.
more of that in it, that's going to be great. So the trailer was basically a supercut of this film.
Well, we can't trust trailers, Chuck.
I know. Sometimes you could tell though, but
Yeah.
it was in HD and readily available, so I thought,
Fair enough.
Yeah, so
Fair
they
enough.
fight at a certain point, and then an explosion happens behind Victor, which knocks him into a bunch of barrels.
yeah,
And
Gary
then
Daniels
Gary
is kind of
Daniels-
out of it.
Yeah, but Gary Daniels comes over and sees, he's like, oh, I guess Victor's dead now.
Well, they also fell off a deck onto a lower deck, which I thought they were going in the water. It was
That's a little later.
That's after
This
they
is
get
still
out
when
of the
they're
lab.
down in the lab.
Yeah, because
And
it?
so,
Okay.
so Gary Daniels sees the body on the ground, and he's like, okay, well, I guess he's dead. So he goes to try and find Jade,
Right.
who's
Right.
gone already.
she's not there, and then it's just he's like, everybody get out. Now he's just helping everybody, like, come on,
Yeah.
it's gonna blow. So everyone's getting out of the boat.
He's not really helping anyone. He's just pushing past them to get
Yeah,
to what
sure.
the room she was in.
But eventually he gets back up on deck, and then Victor's just there.
Oh, is that what it is? He just tackles them. From
Yeah,
off
he
screen?
jumps out of the
from-
rafters.
Yeah, but I mean,
yeah, he butthorns.
I just
him.
say
Butthorns him.
it's a strange shot because, like, again, bad action geography.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
fighting on
Oh,
a
yeah.
boat. You see railing. Someone dives someone, and your first thought is not, oh, they're about to fall into a lower deck. It's like splash. You
Yeah.
know, and so
Yeah.
when they go
Well,
clang,
the boat
I'm
is
like, oh.
clearly about to explode as they're wrestling around and fighting everything, and then they go over a railing together, and you think it's like, oh, they're both going into the water, but it's just onto a lower deck.
Yeah.
And eventually, like, Victor's legs get fucked up to the point where he can't get up, and Gary Daniels is just like, see ya.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And-
To the victor go the spoils.
yeah. And Victor spends, his last moments just going, get back here.
Yeah. Ryan.
Like, Ryan, get back here.
Get back here. Die with me, you son of a bitch.
Yeah.
And Ryan's like, no.
No.
I don't believe I will.
And this leads to the second pretty good stunt, because there's a guy on top of this boat
Yep.
who jumps off as they have started the explosives. Like, I know they started
Yep.
near the back of the boat and it's heading forward.
Yes,
But
but
it's still, this fucker's on the boat.
Yeah.
Jumping off of the top deck of the boat.
It's like 40 feet.
Yeah. Into the harbor. Basically
hammer.
next to a boat that is going up.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, they do the full detonation on this thing. And I'm just like, oh my God, that stuntman. Like, shrapnel's going to hit that guy.
That's another one of those sleeper stunts, like the Tenet dive. The woman that dives off the boat in Tenet. That's not a spoiler, right? She just dives off.
She
the
just
boat.
dives off the
Yeah.
boat.
It's like, oh yeah, that was actually, holy shit, that was a really high dive for
Yes.
a normal
Yeah.
human to make.
Yeah, when they show you
and
like,
especially-
how far,
Yeah.
the camera is pulled back far enough to where you're like, oh, no, that's a...
Yeah. And I mean, you can clearly see it is a guy doing a dive. It's
Yeah.
not
Right.
like they chucked a dummy off the boat.
No, a man jumped.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean to be fair, as far as the behind the scenes, it was probably the mostly gas explosion stuff. So to minimize
Yeah.
actual
Yeah.
wreckage, I mean, because that looked like it was a big fireball, but it didn't look. It wasn't one of those like, oh, the ship is coming apart.
Right.
Yeah, no.
I mean, there wasn't like shrapnel and
No,
shit.
yeah.
No.
But
It wasn't a good splintery
But yes,
explosion
still,
or anything.
you've got
I'm
a
not
bunch of-
saying it's not dangerous. It's just like
Yeah.
that's the little safety things you do.
But
is
it's
like,
still like they had started those explosions before he
Oh, yeah.
had
Yeah.
jumped off the boat.
Yes.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, that's
that's
Gary
pretty much how it
Daniels.
is.
He
Yeah.
gets away, and
He gets away, and all of a sudden we see Jade is alive.
surprise,
Yeah.
she's alive.
She's
Last-
alive and being reunited with her kid.
The
thanks-
triad's
thanks
like,
to the
here's your
guy."
daughter
That's
for reasons.
That's actually a scene in heaven.
yeah,
you might
She
be right.
dead.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then Gary Daniels is
he's just hiking back at
taking the kid to the mountain.
that rock with his partner's son.
But yeah, they do not end up together. I guess
Nope.
They don't. I don't even know if they know
Nah.
each other's alive.
Right. I mean,
There is no resolution to those characters
for
whatsoever.
all we know, as you said, she's not. So
They're
Yeah.
both in heaven.
they could both be in heaven. Yeah. That
Well,
could
wait.
be-
Why would that kid be in heaven?
It's like it's because the kid got murdered by the triads or
Sure.
the
Yeah.
yakuza or something.
Or also just as punishment for like just being generally a shitty detective. Like,
Right.
You're like
Oh
you're in-
yeah, maybe
you're in
maybe
heaven.
Gary Daniels is in hell.
Well, I'm just like you're in heaven. However, you're going to be stuck with the annoying kid character.
Yeah.
No, he's in
No,
hell
he's in
because he's a
hell.
shitty detective and he sucks at everything except for kicking. So he
Yeah,
is
and his
doomed
name
to
never got cleared.
right.
Yeah.
That's true.
So
They
he's
still think he
doomed.
just murdered those cops.
He's doomed to spend eternity with his dead partner's child.
Yeah.
Stupid child.
Yeah.
All right.
Wife's
Child
gonna
can't
come along
do
any
anything.
second.
Yeah.
Wife never shows back up.
No.
She's dead too.
No, she's fine. She's the only one who survived.
No, she's dead.
No, she's not in anyone's.
Oh yeah, she is.
Yeah, everyone in this movie was dead
Killed
the
by
entire time.
the yakuza, who weren't involved in this. They just showed up and
Yeah,
killed her.
they were
Yeah.
just. It was
They just showed up at the end.
it
Like,
was just
hey, we see an opportunity.
Another
here.
uninterested party in the drug
Yeah.
trade, I guess. You know?
Like, hey, what's going on
Yeah.
here?
We heard your husband used to be a DEA agent. Just in case.
Yes. But yeah,
That was his
movie-
name, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
just in case. This movie's over.
White tiger.
White Tiger.
Yeah, it's a movie.
It is.
El Tigre
Verified.
Blanco.
There are better ones.
Yeah, I've
are.
seen one of them.
There are worse Gary Daniels ones, though.
Yes, Capital Punishment.
Okay,
Fucking was
that's the one I was trying to think of. Like, it was so unmemorable. Even that name, Capital Punishment, just,
fucking garbage.
yeah.
That movie that was shot for like $12. It just looked like
Yeah,
utter
like-
trash.
That's worse.
Yes, that is worse than this.
There are much better Gary Daniels movies.
This is also true. Gary Daniels, again, I'm going to say, maybe not on the scale of like Michael J. White or anything, but I think he's a guy that didn't get his just rewards for his talent. Not that he's great at any number of things, but he's good enough to where if you mold the right movie around him, it could be fucking awesome, like Rage. But he just never broke free of that direct-to-video mold.
See,
Yeah.
I wish I could go back in time. And I mean, there's certain like little things that I would do. Like I would like to like go and pair certain people in certain eras together to like make them more popular. Because I mean, like there was that long stint, and we saw them in the '90s. I don't know when they were filmed, but like all the Jackie Chan movies that they were shooting in Australia for a while. Like, you know, if it was in the '90s, like shit, man, you should have had Gary Daniels or somebody.
Well,
there,
City
you know.
Hunter did.
Oh, did yeah? Okay, yeah, it did.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm just saying like that he should have been paired with him more as
Yeah.
like the, you know, competent fight guy to go with him. You
Right.
know, like I mean,
Instead,
just to
they
show-
kind of relied on Richard Norton.
yeah, I mean, it's like, you know, you had like some people that sometimes had some talent for him to fight against, but I mean, I feel like he needed like a real true like acting foe and not a stunt foe in his movies, you know?
Stunt foe.
You know what I'm saying? Like
I
someone that could be like have a presence more and just be
Sure.
like, yeah, all right, that dude can fight.
Yeah.
Which isn't much more than Gary Daniels has, but he has a bit more going on. Like you said, with the right project. But like I would like to go back and like make Cynthia Rothrock a bigger thing at the time.
Fucking
you know?
absolutely. I mean,
like-
that's a crime against cinema right there. But yeah, just Gary Daniels has a look. Like he's a good-looking dude. Acting, not so much, but you can hide that, and that's easy. Just put him. The problem with this movie,
Even acting lessons.
sure,
Yeah.
whatever
I mean, they taught Arnold how to act. And,
they did,
yeah,
and
come
he
on.
got pretty good.
Yeah, yeah.
The problem with this movie is that the components are all correct. Like it like on paper, you look at it and go, yeah, that should be good. That's why I said, yeah, that should be good.
They just don't connect the dots very
It's
well.
just it's so leisurely paced. It's like if this movie had like one more mid-second act action scene, which then condensed all of the nothing scenes down, you would have something better. This movie starts so slow and just sucks all the energy out of you for a good 15 minutes. It's hard to get ramped back up for this. The movie itself does ramp up, but you're kind of tired by then, and you realize that none of what's happening makes any sense. No character motivations make any sense. Everyone's just kind of going through the motions because the script says so, not because their characters have any kind of believable push whatsoever.
Yeah.
None of it makes any sense for any of them. But if you just boil it down to action stuff, there's some good action stuff in it. It's just as a movie, it's not terrific. It's not even good. I would say it's fine. And if we're at the rating portion, I'll just go ahead and throw my rating out there. I'm going to give it 1 Jocks. It is fine. You can watch it. There are worse Gary Daniels movies out there. This one has some cool shit in it. There's a real good clank sound when Gary Daniels smashes this one dude's head against a staircase on a boat.
Oh God, yeah. And that guy sells it too.
Yes. There's some good stuff here, but if you're coming to this as like this movie has the appearance of being a real movie. Like it seems like the kind of thing like the sort of late 90s Van Damme stuff would be, where it's like he's going to do some stuff, but he's really trying to branch out and be like a normal dude. That's what this kind of feels like. But it's wrong. Like there's no reason for Gary Daniels to be doing this kind of thing, you know.
Yeah.
But also, he doesn't do anything outside of like the kicky kicks.
I know.
Like,
Yeah,
I know.
and the fighting, you feel the rehearsals
On some of it,
in so
absolutely.
many
Yeah,
so
you
many
do.
of those
Yeah,
fights.
yes.
Is you feel the guy waiting to hit his mark, or the other guy's timing was off, and the other guy's just like,
There's-
okay, well,
there's kind of a lot of that. There's
Yeah.
scenes where there's like dudes running down hallways with guns that are like, I'm too early.
Yeah.
I missed my cue, and like now I just
Yeah.
got to stand here and
Yeah.
act like I don't have a shot.
the guy shooting in the kitchen.
Sure.
The two guys that
yeah.
like come around the corner shooting at Gary Daniels before they've seen him.
Yeah.
Thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just
Yeah, like I said, it's got little problems. I'm gonna give it a single bag just because I'm like, I don't know. I don't think it's even worth bothering. I mean, if you can find a supercut, like,
watch the trailer
yeah,
for
watch
this
the
movie.
trailer apparently.
I mean, I guess. I mean, it's just, it's not worth it to sit through the whole thing to me. I don't know. I really think the script is super lazy and wastes a lot of time and doesn't, like, that's the thing that always kills me. It's like, it doesn't cost anything to write a better script, you know, or to bother connect the dots. That does not cost you anything. Like when you're making a low budget movie, just make sure it makes sense. Look at it from basic character motivation stuff. I mean, I just
Yeah, and really, the bad guy just basically dying on the top of a deck, going, "Hey, die with me." Like that's not the release you want. You want him to be like, just fucking, bring the hammer down on that guy and
Well,
then walk off the boat or something.
Or
you
the
know?
fact that he didn't like go back and was like, I have to save my meth empire, or any kind of like, you did this to yourself realization. He doesn't get that.
Yeah.
There's not even a shot of like, oh, I fucked up, as the
Yeah.
boat explodes and, the skin melts off his face or anything like that.
Yeah.
Not that that would be an effect in this. I'm just saying there's not that shot of like, oh, here comes the explosion. I'm dead. It's not that. You could have almost expected, well, if she got off the boat, why didn't he? He could have easily come back as well.
Wait till I get two.
Do you know he's actually British?
No, he isn't. There's
Yes.
no way.
He's British. He's not even Australian.
Wait, really?
Yes.
What?
Impossible.
Yes.
That's not, but he's doing the...
I know.
An English actor. That just means he acts in English.
He's British. Anyway, one jocks for me. Only because of Victor's performance in this.
Yes.
In his sassiness.
We didn't even talk about his outfits, like the
God,
way he
yeah.
dresses throughout this whole.
Yeah, every time it's like a new, like, oh my God, what are
Well,
you
first
wearing?
off, he has he has a Native American necklace thing for some
Yeah.
reason but the way it's debuted is he's basically wearing a low cut open Nehru jacket is the best way I can describe
Yeah.
it. It's basically like if Dazzler had a Nehru jacket.
Yeah.
Like it's like
And
cut all the way down.
And those baggy ass '90s slacks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean and every other time it's just like he's got some kind of flair on his outfit, which is like, all right, man.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
fun. Like I wanted the movie to be like twice as much him
Yeah.
that's in it, But that and the two boat stunts, I can give it a single jocks for that because it's like, yeah, people should see those things. But aside from that, man, it's rough. It's real rough.
I got to give it a bag just so that
Just so
People-
it becomes a pure
So
zero.
it just
it's a
averages
pure
out
neutral.
to pure zero.
Yeah,
True neutral.
but also so that people stay like. I'm not saying like, oh my God, it's the worst. You got to stay away, just to discourage people from watching
That's
it.
what I'm saying. We have
You know,
we have
it's-
508
it's-
movies we've watched, give or take. Go
Yeah.
watch another one. Is all I'm trying to get at.
Yep, that's pretty much
Pick
it.
something
Yeah.
else.
That's why when I do a single bag, I'm usually like, it's not that bad, but just nah. Like,
Yeah.
you can do better. You can do
Inoffensive, but
Yeah.
like, yeah, not really worth your time.
Yeah.
I don't believe Gary Daniels' IMDb profile is lying. I'm calling
he's
it.
not
I'm
Australian.
calling it a lie right now. And if his Wikipedia says the same thing, it's lies.
So it's like a false Australian.
Yes.
Well, he's from an Australian neighborhood in England then because
yeah,
I'm sorry, that accent is
He's
not
from
it's not a
Sydney.
British accent.
I mean, are they calling him British because like they once had control of
He
Australia?
was born in London.
Okay.
born in London.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's why they're calling him British.
I mean, like how British? Like
but
are
there's
Canadians
no way.
British?
There's
I don't
no
know.
way that's a London accent. Like maybe it like he.
Oh
born
yeah,
in
because he's not
London-
going, "Oi, governor,
Exactly. Yeah.
That's
I'm
the-
British."
That's a British accent, and everything else is accents.
Ixens, yeah.
No, that's New Zealand.
He's
This is
more
the
Ixens than British. 100%. He was born in London and grew up in Austria, so he has an Australian
I
accent.
knew this would break your brain, but I didn't know it would just physically anger you. That you'd be
It
like,
does
"God
make
It's
damn
not
it!"
right.
It's
It's
that
wrong.
can't be right.
It can't be right. Unless he's just playing an Australian in this movie, which then really doesn't make any
Okay,
sense.
Well, all right. And in
That's
so
that's
many
him
other
branching
movies,
out in his acting.
Oh, I see. So actually, it was good acting because it fooled all of us.
There we go.
But also, he did start off it feels like he started off the movie with no accent, like when they were in the Adirondacks. Theoretically,
Yeah, the Pacific Northwest side of Adirondacks.
Yeah.
yes. Half Dome, a noted Adirondacks mountain. Yeah, I don't think he had an accent. I think he was trying to suppress it, but by the end of the movie, he's just full,
Yeah.
full Sydney, by way of London, I guess.
Sure. Whatever. Apologies to Gary Daniels if there was no intent of any Australian anything.
Why do you think that would offend him? What are you trying to say? Like it's offensive to be called Australian, Chuck?
Yes.
Who's offending the Australians now, sir?
They're
The
a
English
prison
might be
colony.
offended by that. They sent them away. I mean, they did. Look it up.
Yeah, do the research.
Follow the money.
Think for yourself.
Speaking of following the money,
Yeah.
patreon.com/BMFcast.
Yeah.
Yeah. Follow that link to give us money.
Right.
It helps pay for everything we do, the Patreon. So we appreciate those who have signed up and give us a little bit of money every month. If you give us a little bit of money every month, you get a whole lot of extra bonus, super fantastic content. More every week. It seems like we're always just podding away, casting them pods at you on the old Patreon. But yeah, help us keep the lights on, the theoretical lights on. And also, aside from that, if you would like to communicate with us in a sort of semi-direct fashion, email us, bmf@bmfcast.com, or call us on the Garfield phone and leave a message, 9105-JOCKS-BMF or 910-556-9263. Or just go to the website, bmfcast.com. All of the links are there.
Word. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Let's get out of here, shall we?
Okay.
Let's.
I am Harlow.
I'm Mackie.
I'm BJ.
I'm Chuck.
And this is BMFcast out. Cunts.
It's Kintz.
Kints. Kints.
Oi, this week on the BMFcast.
Kintz.
I think I've decided actors and people that try to do actual real, accents.
Accents.
Most of them say you got to pick a trigger phrase, like something like a phrase that will just take you into that. And I think I've decided my New Zealand one is from Thor Ragnarok, the piss off ghost. Yeah, I just feel like if I say that, I'm right there. I'm like, okay, he's all kind of happy, and
Yeah.
we're doing New Zealand now. Yeah,
Piss. Yeah.
Piss off ghost. Yeah, good job. Yeah. Anyway,
Right.
so
You want to take us off the line? So
All
we-
right.
We can do an intro.
oh right, yes, we still have to do one of those.
This week on the BMFcast.
Unless you can do it live. You just don't get
No,
music.
I don't have any actual words yet. I've been
Okay. I was gonna say you just don't get music if you do it live.
I got one for you.
Uh-oh. All right.
Okay.
Taking us offline. Bye, everybody.
Good night, everybody. Thanks for stopping by. And we're not Australian either.
We're not Australian.
I know. I'm just
Yeah,
letting everybody
just
know
in case. I mean, we know our accents were spot on, but
It's deceptive.
We're from London.
It's
yeah,
deceptive.
we're actually from London. We
You,
talk like
you
we're
sound like
London.
you're from London.
I know. Thank you.
Bye. Cheerio.